All right, big fella, we got.
Well, I feel like I need to.
Yeah, this is bullshit. You called me out for being.
I need to
Boomer.
preface this topic by saying that this topic is in no way, shape, or form directed to or about anybody in particular.
So
This
it's
is just
definitely about somebody in particular.
This is just a.
You know how that works, Dave.
This is just a common observation that I have made, not as of late, but just in general. Okay.
Okay.
Dave's waiting over there with
My topic
bated breath.
states. My topic states. I honestly think this generation is missing out on the so-called bitch work. Not sure totally, but that's just an observation of mine.
I love how you added the commentary at the end there.
Yeah, I just said of mine. That's
So when
your
you're
words.
saying bitch work, do you mean kind of like the grunt work, nasty jobs that?
That is 155,000% what I mean. So
your kids aren't doing the bitch work.
well, not only my kids, but so here's what started this.
Okay.
I feel like we're starting to narrow down the group that this doesn't definitely apply to.
Right. You're exactly right. And I know that there's no way to really tiptoe around this without just really getting into
Well,
it.
big fella, you don't tiptoe well, so just go
No,
for it.
and I don't sneak very well either.
No, you don't.
I heard an individual kind of off, David. God,
I'm not going to say
dang
who
it.
it is.
This is about nobody in particular. Well, you know this son of a bitch. You know what he did?
I don't like it. I'll just come out and say it. I don't like it when younger kids bitch about having to do jobs that are less than favorable whenever you see another individual doing the same thing that's an older generation not saying a word and just doing it. And I feel like I hear a lot of younger kids.
They think that kind of works beneath them.
Exactly.
Well,
And I think it's an entitlement thing. Do you
But
think it's an entitlement
well,
thing?
but you're not off on it because there's been some research and studies that have some research. I don't know about studies, but some research that has shown that this generation that's entering into the workforce expect the world but have zero experience in world expecting. I don't know how to phrase that in a better way, but basically they think they should walk in and, hey, I should be the director of this, or I should be the CEO of this. And there is a lot of that. And so that's why a lot of people generally, when you poll,
Participation trophies.
are unhappy at work
So
because they're not up that corporate
this
food
individual
chain.
this individual that I'm talking about, he doesn't
5'7".
yeah, 121 pounds. He doesn't
Listen to the show?
Yeah, he doesn't listen to the show.
This will be the episode he picks up.
Or if this shows up on a reel, then I can just kind of show it to him. But I said something about along the lines like, man, you ain't been here long enough to bitch. Like you ain't, you know what I mean? Like you can't bitch about this.
Do you have your jorts and white New Balances on when you had this conversation?
I mean, yeah. No, I did. Yeah.
The proverbial?
Yeah. And I said, you know, you just, and another guy that was with me was like, yeah, what he said, like, you ain't never had no shitty jobs before. And he's like, yeah, I did. One time at one of my other jobs, I had to go and change light bulbs on every light fixture in the entire building.
Cakework.
Oh, God.
And I just kind of thought, you little you. And I said, oh, what was tough about that? Having to drag your ladder around? And I said, when I was 15 years old, 16 years old, I worked for a cattle operation. And they had like 150 or 200 head feedlot. And every time that those steers would come out of that feedlot, you had to go in there with the skid loader, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, you got to use the skid loader. And they would squeegee the shit out into the lagoon. Well, guess who had to go in there with their boots and slop it out of them corners and and run the feeder and all that, like shit jobs, you know what I mean? Like awful shitty work, stuff like that, shoveling rock, doing just grunt work. I worked at a carbide tooling place that they would sharpen carbide like saw blades and CNC blades or not blades, CNC blades, but like, exactly cutters and shit like that. And they would all this like the carbide sludge, like it was all water and like lubrication tubs. And I mean, I would come to my girlfriend's basketball games, literally looking like I just climbed out of a coal mine. Like I looked like that dude at the UK basketball game, just completely black, covered in shit, and just shitty, nasty jobs, And I don't think a lot of I don't think a lot of kids do that these days. Like I just wonder if that's I don't know. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Are there any shit jobs at your place of employment? Like just terrible, like dirty, labor-intensive jobs?
Well, but they're in a technology field. It's different.
No, I mean there's tooling and machining and stuff.
Even that's real clean. We keep it clean back there.
Well, I guess you have to.
But I mean, there's dirty jobs there. But like you get into tech maintenance or facilities maintenance and some of those, there's some.
Well, and it's funny you say dirty jobs. That reminds me of Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe. I just seen a thing of him the other day.
He is a national treasure.
Yep.
Because his big stance is on go to trade school. Not everybody needs to go to college.
Amen.
Different things like that. Work jobs like this.
Yeah.
But I think some of it is parents nowadays want to protect their children from that kind of stuff because a lot of those jobs are not very appeasing in a sense of the environment in which you're working in. Like to the extent of you're messing around with saw blades, like, workplace accidents, things like that happen.
And I wasn't messing with the saw blades. I would come in after production shut down and get up to my elbows in this black tarry sludge and just scoop it out of these tanks.
I know, but what I'm saying is like that's something like a lot of parents like like on a construction site, like there's a lot of equipment moving, there's things going on. Like you got to keep your head on a swivel.
Hey,
like,
your job is to walk around and pick up trash and put it in a bucket.
You forget I worked for the Huntingburg Parks Department.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like on a construction crew, the grunt work would be like
that kind of stuff.
Your job is to take this bundle of shingles and carry it from this stack and put it on this stack.
Yeah, like
for 8 hours. That's all you're doing. Is just little mindless, like hard as shit jobs, And I don't know, like. I don't know where the shift was. Like, where was the big paradigm shift? Like, where did society change? Like, those jobs are still there. They have to be.
But I don't think they're employed. I think some of it may be an employer choice of who they hire to do those jobs. They're not bringing the 16-year-old kid in because the 16-year-old kid doesn't do a good job when I can hire somebody else to do it. Pay them a little bit more, not a high turnover, easier to train, a little bit more dedicated to work. I mean, that's the thing about fast food. Fast food used to be made up of like high school kids.
It still is.
To some places, to some degree, but it's not necessarily
aggravating
all there.
God dang.
I had a situation in Mickey D's
I did
this past
too
weekend.
Today at Wendy's.
So, old boy. So I ordered. It was another, Janelle was working. So we were with old Pat Paul, and this is what lunch was going to be. They tell me to pull around and wait. No problem. I can sit here and chill out. Wait. Realize the line around me starting to clear out. Finally, guy comes out. Hey, here's your stuff. Everything's in there. You're good to go. Kind of like like, I'm not going to point out specifically who it is. I'm just going to talk in general. I had this feeling like I'm going to double check because I ordered some nuggets. Nuggets are a highly forgotten thing when you order them on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Look into the bag.
They're not there.
Sauces made it. They didn't make it. So I get out, walk in. Guy that is just out there just saw me. He's like, hey, what's wrong, boss? I said, we forgot nuggets. He grabs my bag, looks in there like I was playing a prank on him. Like, I got you, sucker. So he turns around and he goes, "Who filled this order? You didn't put the nuggets in there. Not only do we got to be quick, we got to be right. Who's got nuggets for me?" And I'm standing there at McDonald's. I was like, it's one way to handle it. Good management style. He comes back. "Hey, boss, all good to go. Have a good one." I was like, "You too."
God, I'd hate to be the dude on the nugget station today. Wow.
That's
That's 40 lashings.
Yeah, he just got it. And I was like, "All right, man." He's like, "Sorry about your weight." I'm like, "No, it's good. Like, part of it's your fault. You said the nuggets were in there and they weren't when you brought them out. But hey, if you want to blame it on the nug guy, blame it on the nug guy. I don't care."
I don't know. I think a lot of those jobs, when I think back, wheeling freight, like I worked at Nancy Bear, when I was 13, 14 years old, had to get dropped off or hitch a ride with somebody else that had their license that were working there. And
broadly speaking, what you're talking about is that classic entry level job filled by a high school kid
or a younger kid that has little to no work experience and obviously no chops, no what do you call that? Like just no
gumption.
No, not gumption. I mean, some of these kids you come out and know they're good. Other kids you got to really light a fire under their ass. But
what's Eldest Smoke? Like he worked at the country club, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And has he got anything lined up for this summer?
I think he's just planning on doing that again.
So, I mean, that's that kind of job. Like I started at the Parks Department, but how many high school kids does the Parks Department hire anymore? None.
Yeah.
You used to have 2 high school kids, a couple part-timers, and that was the Parks Department.
Yeah.
Now you've got full-time.
7 full-time guys.
You're thinking of the disc golf issue with the Parks Department.
No. I worked for the Parks Department one summer.
Yeah. When he was talking about shit.
How was that? What'd you do? Nothing? Is that what you're getting at?
I was a trash guy. I did.
Yeah.
We did.
But I was the only one that worked Saturday, so I got a gas card and a key to all the park gates.
Nice.
Had a baby.
The trash cans.
We
There's
actually
like 35 properties in Richmond. That
You know where the old street department garage was? There used to be that restroom down there.
Yeah, still there.
No, not the one on the very far end, east end.
Oh, public restroom?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant the one in the shop.
No, this is one that everybody could utilize.
Yeah.
It was the worst one to go in and clean.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where all the kids could hide out and not be caught by traffic rolling through. And there was one morning we walked in and you could smell it as soon as you opened the door. And it was corn that was in the field that year. And some asshole had shit all over the floor and just decorated it with corn. It was a mess.
Magical.
We used to pull those trash bags out of there on like a Friday, Good Friday in July when they were full. And the bags could be like sun dried to the trash can. And you'd start pulling one out and that like almost like a orange red Powerade mixture that came out that just I can smell it right now.
There was a guy that worked for the Parks Department he's a tough son of a bitch. He doesn't work there anymore. He moved on to different pastures, but he was a tough son of a bitch, and that guy had the weakest stomach.
Oh yeah,
that I have ever heard. And
the maggots come crawling out of the trash can.
He'd be changing the trash, and we'd be over at the shop doing our stuff, and he'd just hear all like just out of the like, what the hell? You look over there, and there he is, just freaking hammering.
There'd be 3 or 4
calling dinosaurs, man.
That's tough. But I just think some of that entry level's gone away a little bit. Not sticking up, but I'm trying to get my street cred back to where maybe I'm wearing like something hot from Nike right now out of the New Balance, even though New Balance is completely comfortable, durable, look great when you mow and wear them. But I don't know. Like I was thinking about it the other day, like, Zoe's going to be 7 in April. And I was like, I can see where her summer job's up there working for housekeeping. Like them ladies freaking work. Now she may learn a lot of things I don't want her to learn, but that stuff is.
I think you probably hit the nail on the head too. There with the parents these days are different with their kids not wanting to be around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a construction crew, or like on the you think about entry level jobs around here. You think, some construction crew, some blue collar shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what a white collar entry level job is. Totally apples to oranges. I have no idea what they do. Like
I don't know,
restock printers and
working at
sharpen
at Staples,
sharpen pencils and stuff like that. I don't know what they do, but
sharpen my own pencils. Thank you.
But what I'm saying is like I don't know. Like you don't. I mean, I'm not a high school kid, so I don't I don't notice other high school kids doing like jobs, but I'm sure there's a big push of, younger kids that come in, to the factory setting and, do your cleanups and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Cause I've done that too, cleaning up, running those
Well, I'm very fortunate.
god awful factory cleaning jobs, you know what I mean? But somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But
I was very
I don't know.
fortunate that, Pat,
born with a silver spoon. In your
no,
Oh,
complete
okay,
opposite.
okay.
But old Pat Paul, he didn't teach us how to weld or like
Right.
I'm not mechanically inclined. That's
Right.
not a surprise to anybody sitting at this table. But like he did, we always had those jobs where we were working outside, the sweat equity part of it. But that's why, like I always said, like if I lost my law license, I'd just go back to working construction because I loved it. You didn't, there's something to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
Anyway.
know.
That's what I was wondering about.